Hello, everyone out there in the AV space. Welcome again to another edition of Behind the Panel. My name is Pat Booth. I'm Business Development Manager here at Almo. I handle Barco ClickShare, also handle Avicor, which if you've watched some of my episodes in the past, and judging by the viewer numbers, you probably haven't. Very excited to have my good friend John Rossman. And John, also business development team, handles the Harman lines, also is part of our audio category team. So I'll let John introduce himself and talk a little bit about what he does here.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for having me on, Pat. It's very exciting.
The waiting list to get on this program, John, is...
I know, man. I put in my request last year and didn't hear from you, but here we are. Glad we could make it happen. But no, I'm John Rossman. I am the Harman Business Development Manager here at Almo. So I get to work with a lot of really cool brands like JBL, AMX, Crown, BSS, DBX, Lexicon, Martin Lighting. So yeah, it keeps me busy. Lots of requests. And like you said, I'm part of the audio team as well. So anytime any of our internal sales team needs some help with product recommendations or technical support, that's what we're here to do.
And for those outside of Almo that don't know that we have this group, we have a couple different teams. We have, but John is a member of the audio team. There are several people that answer an inbox, really kind of there to make sure our salespeople, because we're pro AV and the A has been around a lot longer than the V, but I think a lot of times is forgotten. And in this day and age, people just kind of take audio for granted and don't really dig into it the way that they should. So having you and Tom and Rob in there really kind of digging in to make sure that we're capturing all those opportunities. Tell me about where you started, John. How did you get into this? I know we have a little similarity in background that and I find this often in our industry. Both of us did our time in tuxedos as wedding DJs, but tell me a little bit about your background, how you got into AV, and yeah.
Yeah, I sure did. I did the wedding DJ thing for a long time. Made college a lot more fun. You know, give me a little extra spending money.
Yeah.
Got to do a bunch of my friends and family's weddings as well, so that was fun. And it did make my actual wedding a little bit more, I don't know, probably stressful than it should have been. You know, I'm sure I drove the DJ absolutely crazy with like, okay, here's the runtime and like all that stuff. But no, I've just always loved audio. I remember back when my mom says I was like 3 or 4, and they had a Michael Jackson cassette that was ripped, I guess, from a vinyl record. It was Thriller. And I just asked them how they got all these weird sounds on this cassette tape. And of course, my mom didn't know how to answer that question. She said, I think they go to this place called a studio, and that's where all that stuff happens. And I remember that really clearly. And I just thought, oh, I got to find out what a studio is someday. So yeah, I went to school at the University of Maryland at Baltimore County for recording technology. And I've always been in bands, as you might be able to tell from the background. I'm a musician as well. So I just love microphones, love that whole thing. And it's stuck with me. You know.
Do you play anything in addition to guitar?
I sing. I play a little bit of piano, play banjo, play a little bit of drums. So I dabble in a lot, but guitar's my main.
Get you one of those one-man band kits, get you out, you know, like perform. Perhaps next year's national sales meeting, we have you headline like the opening reception or something.
We'll see.
We'll have Gisela rap followed by John Rossman.
Yes, I love it. She killed it. I love that thing.
Now, you came on board. We were talking a little bit before we started recording. You came on when when Exerce Almo acquired Quadrillion, which became part of our services offering. Which, hey, talk a little bit about that, because I cannot stress enough how important it is that we have professional services available for our client base, because a lot of these smaller accounts, they want to bid on these bigger jobs, but they don't have the manpower, especially with, you know, post-COVID, the way that the manpower scene has worked, don't have the ability to do that. So, you know, just talk a little bit about your background in services and what that team does over there.
Yeah, sure.
Bonus content for all you loyal Behind the Panel watchers.
That's right. Yeah, so I was working as a design engineer. Before that, I was a consultant working for a company that did a lot of 4- and 5-star hotel jobs. So, and then before that, I was an engineer at the University of Maryland. So I come from a technical background. I've been an AV engineer for most of my professional career.
Yeah.
And so I was working at this small organization called Quadrillion, and we were purchased by Almo. And I was really nervous about that whole experience because I had never worked for a big corporation before. I worked for a university, but I'd never worked for a corporation before, so I didn't know what that was going to entail. And I was just so relieved and pleased when, we kind of got integrated into it, and it was more or less, you guys are going to keep doing exactly what you've been doing, but now you're
Right.
working for Almo. So we were still doing designs from top to bottom. We were still working with clients directly for programming, 3D modeling, drafting services, even post installation commissioning support. So we were doing all the things that we were doing as an independent contractor before, but just now under the Almo umbrella. And I'm here to tell you that the people that are part of that team, and most of them are still there, some of the most talented people I've worked with in the AV industry, and I've worked with a lot. They really, really know their stuff.
It speaks to our team as well, and really the sales team. If you look at the tenure, really of a lot of the different teams in this organization, I'm not somebody that's ever been one to beat the company drum, but we have a special place that we work at, and the people that work here make it very special. I mean, you've got salespeople that have been around for 20 years. You've got business development managers that have been around for 15 or 20 years. It just, again, the people are special, and I think that really is kind of the secret sauce here. If anyone's wondering how you duplicate this, you get great people, you treat them well, you take care of them, and magic happens. So,
yeah, and I've
very
been
cool.
honestly just so pleasantly surprised about the amount of technical knowledge that our sales team has.
Right.
A lot of them, it's not a, oh gosh, what microphone? It's more like, I just want to confirm that I have this right type of question coming
Yeah.
into me.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they're right on the money. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make our job a lot easier, but it also nice when you get those folks that really are kind of eager to learn, that come to you and are looking for something or looking for a solution, and you can really kind of hit that head on and take that on and do really well in getting them a great product to recommend for them.
Yeah. And just to go back to the services real quick, I mean, it opens up so many opportunities for us here at Almo that I think a lot of other distribution companies, they don't have that type of
Right.
internal technical resource. So the brand that I work with, Harman, they come to us all the time, and they're basically handing us customers that say, hey, these guys know what they want, but they don't know how to put these pieces together. We know that because you guys have this technical inside sales and service team, that you guys can help them out. So it's really a big advantage and a leg up that we have on the competition.
Huge. And you bring up, I'm glad you brought that up with Harman and with services as well. So back in before I started with Barco ClickShare, I repped Legrand and all those brands. I think we have 9 of their brands. Harman has a lot of brands now. And I think another thing that we do, combining services with all the different brands that we carry, I wish I had the exact statistics. Somebody quoted it to me once, but the time and money spent in issuing a PO, a company could cut one PO to us, literally solve their entire AV problem, have the materials, have the services, they have the whole design build. Everything is done just with one PO, as opposed to having a person in your buying team that has to manage 12 different POs to 12 different companies, 3 distributors, and 2 different manufacturers. It makes it so much easier to do business with us. And having all those Harman brands on there. What's up with Harman these days? What's new? What is anything on the horizon that is life-changing? I mean, some great brands in there, but what is new in the world of Harman these days?
There's actually been a lot recently, and some big product announcements that it's easy for me to get excited because I'm an audio nerd. So when a new ceiling speaker comes out, I'm like running to tell my wife, "Oh my God, you're never going to believe this!" And she, of course, rolls her eyes. So I get it. But the biggest news from them in the past year, and this is from JBL, they released replacements for all of their most popular ceiling speakers. So they have a model called the Control 26, the JBL Control 26 CT, which is the most
It's
popular.
funny that you said that. I started at Stampede, which was another company in the acquisition a long time ago. I started there in 2007. I sold a ton of Control 26
Sure.
CPs, tons of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That was literally the go-to ceiling speaker that you had, and nobody questioned it because again, it was JBL.
100%. Yeah, it hits the sweet spot in terms of sound, in terms of price, in terms of, visibility. People like that logo. Yeah, it hits all the right notes. So imagine my surprise. I had just started in this role in October of last year, right? So I'm just getting my feet wet.
Right.
Beginning of January 2025, they announce, "Oh yeah, we're gonna take our most popular product that we sell and we're going to update it and we're going to issue a new." I was like, oh my God, because there's so many ways that this could go wrong.
Yeah.
Right. This is like the equivalent of, I wish I had a better example.
New Coke.
The new Coke is perfect, Pat. Thank you. I was going to say the Shure SM58 microphone, but I think new Coke is perfect. Yeah. There's so many ways that this could go wrong. But they announced the new product, and first of all, they kept the nomenclature easy. So all you do is you take the model that you know and love, and you just add a 4 to the front of it. So now it's the Control 426 instead of Control 26. Control 16 is now the Control 416. So they rolled this product out. First of all, it looks the same. Second of all, the price point is very similar to what it was before. And third of all, they haven't changed. They've only improved on the sound, and they've added more installer-friendly features. So the dog ear clamping system is a lot easier to use. It's a magnetic grill instead of those old press fit grills that could get bent and damaged real easily. It's easy. They make a square magnetic grill instead of a round one. You can get a black magnetic grill instead. The cables come in from. It's a bunch of nerd stuff, but they just did the little tweaks that people have been asking for years and years and years and years.
Right.
They also put this new waveguide system on it, so the coverage from each speaker is a little bit wider, and you can, in some cases, you can use less speakers for the same application. So they just did everything right, and they kept the price similar. So I think it's going to be a success, and they've just rolled this out across all of the Control series speaker lines. So that's the Control 10 series, the Control 20 series, and the Control 40 series are now the 410, 420, and 440 series. And we're
it's
really
crazy
excited about them.
You just don't see products last that long in the AV space. I mean, you
100%.
just don't. And it's crazy that they, again, I being out of sales and being out of the day to day, I don't see it. I see the SKUs come across every once in a while. Control 26 ET still rolling strong, but it's like new Coke for AV nerds, I guess.
That's right. That's
the
right.
best way to
and I will also give JBL credit in that they are not. It's not a hard switch. They understand how popular the Control 26 is, so it's not like it's going away tomorrow. But they're giving everybody time to get used to the new product. So
I mean, to me, that's a sign of a great manufacturer because they understand their reseller base. They understand their dealers out there that are selling this product that don't want to, because some people change does not suit everybody. So a lot of times people are very, very hesitant to go with something brand new.
100%. The other big things from BSS London, that's Harman's audio DSP line, and we have a lot of success with them. They are debuting the new Omni series DSPs. They were actually announced last year at InfoComm, but they're actually going to come online here towards the end of the year. They're thinking November. So very excited to see those. It's a expanded channel count, Dante built in. These are going to be for larger style projects and larger applications, but that's going to be a big hit. The BSS Omni, they also have a new control keypad that fits this really nice niche in between just a standard dumb wall volume controller and a full-blown custom touch panel, for those, it's a retail shop or a restaurant or a bar or something like that, that doesn't have want to spend the money or the effort to do a full control custom touch panel that our services team could help with. This is just a real simple wall button controller with some fancy graphics on it that gives it a nice modern look and gives you some flexibility and customizable without breaking the bank. So those are going to be really popular when they start shipping next month. And then last up, I think, the new Comtech D series amplifiers from Crown. These are going to be really big. They're half rack and 1RU amplifiers up to 8 channels. There's a 2, 4, and an 8 channel version with flexible power sharing, so you can shunt the power where you need to, 8 ohm or 70 volt mode. They're going to be really competitive and really, really exciting whenever they start shipping in November, I believe. So
again, one of the huge names out there. I talking about our DJ days back in the flipping on the equipment rack. It was always a Crown amp at the bottom of those DJ racks whenever I'd go to somebody's house system. So
either a Crown or a PV.
Yeah, right. I mean, any other trends in audio in general that you could think of that are new, or people should be I don't want to be cheesy, but listening for? Look at that. See what I did there?
Oh, I don't know. Can we insert drum roll here?
I'm sure we have great post-production here. I'm sure we can.
Yeah. This is cool because it's kind of top of mind for me because I just wrote a blog post about this, but I'm really excited and happy to see how much networked audio, particularly Dante, has really, it's been around since I've been in the industry, more or less, but it's really become kind of de rigueur, a part of most designs nowadays for anything larger than just a single space. If there's multiple rooms that are sharing a processor, people are relying on Dante networked audio to get audio from point A to point B. And now it's gotten so inexpensive to do that, it really makes sense. Where before you might see a wall plate on the wall in a ballroom, say, that's a 3-gang wall plate with 8 XLR inputs on it, so that's 8 individual analog cables that you have to run all the way back, to wherever you're going. And now that can all be accomplished with one Cat5 cable, from an active wall plate like that. And that's just so cool to see because it gives you so much more flexibility,
cleaner install,
cleaner installation,
less
all kinds of benefits.
Go wrong.
Exactly. So I'm just really happy to see that because it just makes design and installation so much easier and a lot more flexibility out there.
So it's funny you mentioned that about the Dante, because when I was out of the industry for a few years, from early 2020 into mid 2022 when I came back to Almo, but Dante had become much bigger in those, probably in that COVID era years where I was gone from the industry, really kind of took it. And when I took the Dante classes, it was fascinating to me. Mine was the third one because I loved actually going in. I actually spent so much time just playing with the different connections. Just amazing what you can do with it nowadays. But to me, I feel like Dante is where AV over IP was like 5 years ago. It's right to the point where everyone's talking about it and it's going to kind of explode everywhere. But I mean, there's still places I can't believe. I don't know if you would have guessed it, but I am from Buffalo. But in the Sabres arena, I'll trash them all the time. I go to games there, and if you go up into the suites or anywhere where they have the TV feed of the game, it's a solid 20, 25 seconds behind what's happening on the ice, which it's 2025. I mean, they would do themselves a favor by doing that, because just the latency itself would just be virtually gone. But you can't drag a horse to water, I guess. Well,
The same thing with networked audio and AV over IP. There was as soon as I heard about AV over IP, I was like, well, that's going to be once that catches on and once the industry adopts the infrastructure to make this possible, the old video switching system, that's done. Because there's no advantage to it anymore, right? It just took a couple of years for the infrastructure, for AV people to get knowledgeable enough about networking and networking equipment to get inexpensive and usable enough to work with AV stuff and work with AV integrators. And we've reached that point now. So it's, there was a certain air of inevitability to it, and I'm happy for it.
Yeah. Well, I used to ask people my parting question to everybody was if they had an opportunity to get Nature Boy Ric Flair to be a guest on my podcast, because it was my goal to get him on here. But a couple months ago, I actually met him at Comic-Con, so I can't even ask that question anymore, John.
Oh, man. That's right.
Now the big thing is going to be who's going to be the first two-time guest on Behind the Panel of all the 17 people that have been on. Who is really that eager to come back and put themselves out there again? But I would love to have you again. I really feel like I need an episode where I get just an all accessories audio roundtable going, and we have just many people kind of shouting things into the abyss. But who knows?
Oh, man, that sounds like a blast. That sounds like a blast, Patrick.
It's an AV nerd's dream.
Well, really listen, man, this has been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So have me back on anytime.
John, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks again. We'll see you next time on Behind the Panel.